What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. In this video, I've got another very important AMC update to bring all of you this afternoon. So what we're going to be covering in this update is a little bit of analysis on the Ortex short interest and utilization data and how some of the things that I've been saying over the last couple of weeks surrounding this 100% utilization and cost to borrow situation seem like there are some things going on with it that we need to address. Now, in addition to this, we also have AMC's Q4 2021 earnings date confirmed by AMC, the company themselves. This is going to be a very strong catalyst because we've already seen a little preview into what the actual company is going to report. And after we get that call, we most likely are going to see some volatility in the stock after that day. Now, the most important thing that we're going to be discussing in this update is this situation surrounding these new developments in this DOJ investigation into manipulative short selling. A member of Citadel has kind of just been targeted by the DOJ as it relates to this investigation. There's also a new way that the DOJ is going to be investigating this, and it could potentially be under the RICO statute, which is a very important development. We've seen Wes Christian. You can have any opinions on that individual that you like, but some of the cases that he's kind of tried in the past and the cases that he is aware of have been tried under the RICO statute in how it relates to securities law. This is a very powerful tool that the prosecutors have, and we're going to go over exactly what that means for us going forward. So before we get into all of that information, if you enjoyed the information and analysis that I provide for you in this video, make sure you go down and hit that like button. It costs you nothing to do it, but it really helps us out a whole lot in getting this information out to as many people who want to learn. And if you guys want to see more videos like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell so you're notified every time I post a new video. And I think you guys have kind of got the gist of this by now, but 1348, the strategy that a lot of us have been using to really take our portfolios to the next level, is available down in the description down below. You can check out that link to the free part of the Discord, learn the strategy, let us know what you think, but definitely something that you should add to your toolbox as a trader and as an investor. So AMC closed the day on Friday at $17.90. We did see a lot of volatility in the market. We were down about 5.5%, but again, from where we come over the past couple of weeks over here, we see we hit a low of 1340, and now we're all the way back up to 1790. Guys, remember, we know they're going to come out in full force and try to push this stock down. The reason why AMC and GME and all these other stocks have so much potential to the upside is due to all of these manipulative actions that we see in the stock market every single day. So when we start to see them trying to push it down, it's not anything that really should surprise us. Yes, it doesn't feel good. It's not what we want to see. But again, especially with what we've seen with this DOJ investigation, we are right. Now, coming over to the Ortex data, we've got AMC utilization at 100%. Now, I've said that this number doesn't seem a whole lot to be accurate over here. We've got 1.47% average cost to borrow, which we've kind of seen this average number stay about the same, even as AMC's utilization is getting up to that so-called 100% mark. Now, we also have 21.13% estimated short interest, 108.44 million shares sold short. But when utilization goes up to 100 and there's supposedly zero or very, very few shares that are left to borrow out in the market, you have this scarcity effect. Now, if you know anything about the basic principles of supply and demand, when there is scarcity, the cost of that good should go up significantly. And that's not really what we're seeing here with the data that we're being presented. But when we come over to Ehor Do Santa Whiskey's Twitter, he runs S3 Partners. It's kind of like another Ortex. They are listing the short interest on AMC at about 105 million shares shorted, but the cost of borrow fee 0.82%. Pretty interesting. Now he's asked a question down here. I'm trying to see something. Does it show you the utilization? And S3 Partners is listing AMC's utilization at 83.3%. This makes a lot of sense. The cost to borrow is lower. We are seeing a little bit of a glitch across the board with all sorts of these stocks just randomly spiking to 100% utilization and staying there. And the cost of borrows aren't necessarily following suit and increasing. Now, it's entirely possible, again, that we do see this increase in cost to borrow going forward, but it's something that we're going to have to wait for. And with the amount of securities lending volume that's happening on AMC, it's entirely possible that we get up to that 100% utilization over the next couple of weeks heading into earnings. Now, let's go over this Citadel situation and how they're getting targeted by this new DOJ probe into manipulative short selling. So Morgan Stanley relationships on Wall Street snared in probe. Now, when we come down a little bit further here, the list of people whose communications are being sought ranges from executives at prominent Wall Street hedge funds, such as Andrew Libeskind at Citadel's Surveyor Capital. Interesting. So you got to kind of follow along with this line of thinking here. And coming over to this article, we can kind of see who Libeskind is. Billionaire investor Ken Griffin has hired Andrew Libeskind as a senior trader for his massive $30 billion Citadel hedge fund. Now, this article was released back in 2018, so he's been working for Citadel for a couple of years. So he's one of the head traders at one of Citadel's largest funds. Now, when we move over here, this is where things start to get interesting. Now, the first thing that I want to kind of bring up is, again, this whole conspiracy situation. We have been labeled conspiracy theorists time and time again that nothing's wrong with our market. Everything is fine. Well, the market's healthy. We're seeing everything move as it should. Short sellers are kind of in their right to short stocks down. But now we have this DOJ investigation, and the people that we as apes have labeled the wrongdoers in this situation are now getting investigated. You cannot call us conspiracy theorists anymore, especially with the DOJ investigating. And now with this situation right here, it gets even more interesting. U.S. prosecutors explore racketeering charges in short seller probe. Now, what they're doing here is they may be trying to try these cases once they end up getting to the court, which is going to take a long period of time. So this right here is not really a squeeze catalyst. I want everybody to really understand this. These investigations most likely are not going to be what causes the major price run-ups to the upside, but this is a good thing to see here in potentially making our markets more free and more fair. But here's where we get into the interesting stuff. While prosecutors haven't made any decisions yet, potential charges under the Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act, RICO, were an option on the table, the sources said. Now, here's essentially what the RICO statute enables these prosecutors to do. So when you think about organized crime, there's going to be people at the top that are going to be giving direct orders to people lower to go out and commit these acts of crime. Now, what the RICO statute allows these people to do is to try the whole criminal enterprise, is what they call it, to get not only the lower level members, but the people all the way at the top. Now, we're going to have to see where this goes, but typically, as we've seen in the past, especially with 2008, these institutions kind of like to pick their scapegoats, and those people get sent to prison, they get hit with the fines, but it doesn't look like that's happening here, which is very, very interesting. So what we have here is now we have Citron, Muddy Waters, and now Citadel getting named in this DOJ investigation, and now they're coming out and saying that they can charge this entire short-selling criminal enterprise potentially as a whole in the coming years. This is a very, very good step in taking us in the right direction, in making sure that these manipulative actions cannot really happen in our market again after we see this entire situation fully play out. Now, we do have AMC's earnings date confirmed. So coming over here, AMC Entertainment Holdings to announce fourth quarter and year-end 2021 results and host the earnings webcast. The date is going to be Tuesday, March 1st, 2022. The time, 4 p.m. Central Time, 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Now, we've said a couple of things about AMC's earnings in the past, and I know a lot of people really like to think that this is not a fundamental play. I always am going to have to disagree with that. The fundamentals of the company do matter. Where the fundamentals don't really make a whole lot of sense is when these institutions start to come out and try to peg a fundamental value on these given stocks. Again, all these value metrics and these valuation methods are very, very subjective. So at the end of the day, the market's going to decide what something is worth. But since we're trading at these lower prices right now from where we were previously trading at the past, well, we've gotten a lot of decent fundamental news. We have this big catalyst coming up. We have Batman coming out. We know what happened once the Spider-Man numbers got released. We rallied from the $20 range all the way up to $30. And we could end up seeing another movement like that. It's possible. Now, in order to really see a strong move to the upside, there's a couple of things that I'm going to be looking at. So when we come over to the chart here, again, we use a lot of 1348. We have seen the 13 EMA, this blue line here, cross above the 48 on the 4-hour chart. Now it is moving back down here. We've seen this in the past before it likes to rally back up. But I'm really going to need to see a strong break of this 200 EMA on the 4-hour chart. We've seen what happens to AMC when it breaks this in the past. It breaks this 200 EMA, shoots all the way up to 52 from these lower levels down here around that $35 mark. So that clean break of that 200 EMA is going to be a potentially a big, strong move to the upside. So that is mainly going to wrap up this update on AMC. If you enjoyed the information and analysis that I provided for you in this video, make sure you go down and hit that like button. It costs you nothing to do it, but it really helps us out a whole lot in getting this information out to as many people who want to learn. And if you guys want to see more videos like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell so you're notified every time I post a new video. So I hope you guys are having a great evening, and I'll see you guys in the next video.